Hey, this will be a video chart on GRNO. Did this one a few days ago when it initially broke out of this pattern. So if you want to know kind of in details what I was talking about back then, just go back and watch that video. But in a nutshell, essentially what we had was a wedge pattern, ascending triangle, whatever you want to call it. And I drew trend lines, but before I started, I was taking a look and noticed that you could either use trend lines, meaning here would be the top trend line, here would have been the bottom one, breakout. But I think what paints a little bit clearer picture is just using the moving averages, and this is a good example of how not only do trend lines form chart patterns, but moving averages do too. If we look at probably the two biggest moving averages within the world of technical analysis, the 200-day and 50-day, you can see that we had the 200-day sloping upwards, creating our base and support of the pattern. We had the 50-day sloping downwards, creating the resistance portion of the pattern. So you can see here that same pattern that occurred. And then, like I noted, the last time I did it was on this day here when we just started to peek our head above. Talked about how we officially had a pattern breakout. The volume had picked up correspondingly with the breakout, which is always what you want to see. And then you can see that the next day, very nice follow through, both volume-wise and price-wise. Here was somewhat of a consolidation day. Still finished green, but not quite as much volume and not as big of green. And then today was kind of a bizarre day. It actually gapped down, but where it gapped and opened right here at 33 cents was the lowest. And then we had essentially a bullish engulfing candle form today, where it opened way down here, but then managed to close at high of day. So you usually don't see these sorts of days where it gaps down. But where the open is way down here is actually the low of the day also, and then it closes at the high of day way up here. So kind of bizarre, but at the same time I'm sure nobody's going to complain about a day like this. Very solid all around. So the requests have continued to come in terms of where are the next levels of resistance and so forth. So the video won't be too long. I just want to get those resistance levels mapped out, talk about some of the support levels, and hopefully everybody will have an idea of what to be looking for. So the first thing we're going to want to watch now are just our support levels. With any sort of consolidation, right here being a good day, it held up well, then nothing to really worry about. So the first support level that really sticks out is this level right here, which is from a previous high at 38 cents. So this level here will be one of our support levels. The other level that I think is more of pretty much the must-hold level is going to be all the way down here at the 50-day simple moving average, and you may be saying, well, why is it so far low but from where we closed today? Well, that's kind of the catch-22. When you have big moves like this, it really separates you from the support levels. Yes, we do have this one here, but if the overall chart pattern is going to remain bullish and going to remain in an uptrend, then this level, the 50-day, has to hold. Because if we think about it, theoretically the price could come all the way down here, consolidate, and then head back up, and we would still have a higher low. We would have these lows down here and then this low up here, which would still allow us to draw an uptrend line like that. So I'm sure not too many people want to see it drop all the way down to the 50-day, but if it did, from a chart perspective, technically, it would still be an uptrend as long as it can put in a higher low like that. Now for the fun stuff in terms of resistance levels, where our future battlegrounds at, almost tested this one up here, which is a key one, previous high. It's at 52.5 cents. And looking at level 2s, you can see it looks like 52 is going to be quite the level. So if it can get through 52, my guess is this one falls. So for argument's sake, technically, like I said, this is at 52.5, but you can just call it 52, and that'd be close enough. But that's essentially right where it closed today at this resistance. And then after that one, the next resistance is not all the way up until what looks like 60 cents here. Let's try that again. So 60 cents is right there. I'm going to make that one a little thicker because I do think that'll pack quite a punch in terms of acting as resistance. But the good news with that is, the thicker the resistance, the more breakout that occurs. Prime example being right here. The 50-day was a very brutal resistance a few times, but when it did finally fall, you can now see the results here. So overall, chart's looking great. If it does pull back, keep your eye on volume on any sort of sideways or downwards days. The less volume, the better. But obviously, on any sort of up days, the more volume you see, the more bullish it is. So if there are any other questions on the chart, please let me know. If not, I'd encourage you to check out bullwarriorstocks.com. If you go there and sign up for the free newsletter, you'll be sent a free ebook, and with the newsletter subscription, you'll get chart setups, trade ideas, educational pieces, all sorts of things from big boards down to penny stocks. So there's a good variety, something for everybody. It's all free, so it's worth at least signing up and checking out. One more time, this was GRNO. Thanks for listening.